Imagine a world where electricity is still a mystery, where the streets are dimly lit by gas lamps, and technology as we know it is but a dream. Into this world, on a stormy night in 1856, Nikola Tesla was born. The man who would one day light up the world with his ideas had humble beginnings, but even as a child, his extraordinary mind was already at work. Nikola Tesla was born in Smiljan, a small village in what is now modern-day Croatia. His father was a Serbian Orthodox priest and a writer, while his mother, though illiterate, was incredibly inventive. She created various household appliances to make life easier for her family. It's easy to see where Nikola got his curiosity and drive. From a young age, Tesla showed signs of his remarkable intelligence. He was fascinated by the natural world, especially lightning, which he would later call the most beautiful and awe-inspiring phenomenon of nature. In school, Tesla was often ahead of his peers. His ability to memorize entire books and solve complex math problems stunned his teachers. But his brilliance came with challenges. He was a perfectionist, prone to obsessive thinking and vivid imagination. He suffered from a peculiar condition where certain sights, sounds, and even words would trigger intense flashes of light in his mind, often accompanied by detailed visions of inventions. Despite these difficulties, Tesla's thirst for knowledge grew. He dreamt of becoming an engineer, but his father had different plans. He wanted Nikola to join the clergy, following in his footsteps. At the age of 17, Tesla contracted cholera and was bedridden for 9 months. His condition was so severe that doctors feared for his life. It was during this time that Tesla made a deal with his father. He promised that if he recovered, he would be allowed to attend an engineering school instead of following a religious path. His father, desperate to save his son, agreed. Miraculously, Tesla survived, and his future was set. In 1875, Tesla enrolled at the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz to study electrical engineering. He threw himself into his studies, often working from 3 a.m. to 11 p.m., barely sleeping. During his time at university, Tesla first encountered the idea of alternating current, AC, revolutionary concept that would later define his career. While most people believed that direct current, DC, was the future, Tesla began to imagine a world powered by AC, which he believed was more efficient and practical. But despite his academic brilliance, Tesla's obsession with perfection and constant work took its toll. In his third year, he suffered a nervous breakdown and never completed his degree. However, this was not the end of his journey, it was just the beginning. After leaving university, Tesla worked for a short time as a draftsman and later for the Central Telegraph Office in Budapest. It was here that he first made real progress toward his vision of alternating current. One day, while walking in the park with a friend, Tesla had a sudden breakthrough, a mental image of a rotating magnetic field, the key principle behind AC power. He drew it in the dirt with a stick, explaining it to his friend with excitement. In 1884, with little more than a few coins and a letter of recommendation, Tesla set off for America. He arrived in New York City, where he would meet Thomas Edison, one of the most famous inventors of the time. Though the two would later become fierce rivals, their initial meeting was the start of Tesla's journey toward creating a world powered by alternating current. Arriving in America with little more than a letter of recommendation and a head full of revolutionary ideas, Nikola Tesla found himself in the heart of the world's industrial capital, New York City. It wasn't long before he secured a meeting with the famed inventor Thomas Edison. The letter Tesla carried described him as a man of genius, and this introduction opened the door to an opportunity that would soon alter the course of history. Edison, a towering figure in the world of invention, had already built an empire on his pioneering work with direct current, DC, electricity. Tesla, by contrast, was a visionary with an entirely different idea, the power of alternating current, AC, a concept that would soon challenge Edison's entire foundation. But before this rivalry could take shape, Tesla first found himself working under Edison's direction, with a promise of future reward. Tesla's brilliance was immediately apparent. He threw himself into the work with Edison's DC systems, making significant improvements to the machines that powered America's first electric grids. Edison, however, was not a man easily impressed by anything that didn't serve his direct purposes. Tesla's radical ideas about AC were quickly dismissed by Edison, who famously said, "AC is dangerous, and no one will use it." And yet, Tesla's mind was already turning toward a future where AC could transmit electricity over vast distances, a future that seemed impossible under Edison's DC-based system, which was limited in reach and costly to maintain. Tesla's time under Edison's employment came to a bitter end. Despite the breakthroughs he achieved with Edison's machines, the $50,000 reward that was promised to him for his work was never delivered. Edison brushed it off as a joke, and Tesla, feeling deeply betrayed, left the company. He walked away from the man who had once been his hero, but he was determined to make his own mark on the world. The years that followed were difficult. With little money and few connections, Tesla found himself doing menial labor just to survive. But even in these dark times, he never stopped dreaming of a world powered by his alternating current system. His vision was too powerful to ignore, and soon, fate would bring him the opportunity to turn it into a reality. In 1888, just when Tesla seemed to be at his lowest point, he met George Westinghouse, an industrialist who shared his belief in the potential of alternating current. Westinghouse had already made his fortune in the railroad industry, but now he saw an opportunity to revolutionize the world of electricity. When Westinghouse heard Tesla's ideas, he immediately recognized the genius behind them. He purchased the rights to Tesla's AC patents for a sum that Tesla could barely comprehend. Finally, his work would be realized on a grand scale. Tesla's alternating current system had the potential to outshine Edison's DC in every way. It was more efficient, could travel longer distances, and cost significantly less to implement. With Westinghouse backing him, Tesla's dream was no longer just a dream, it was becoming a reality. What followed was a battle that would define the future of electricity for generations to come. The War of Currents, as it would come to be known, was not just a rivalry between two inventors, it was a battle between two vastly different visions for the future of energy. Edison, seeing the threat that Tesla's AC system posed to his DC empire, launched a campaign to discredit Tesla and Westinghouse. He claimed that AC was dangerous, far too volatile for public use. In a series of public demonstrations, Edison went so far as to electrocute animals with AC to prove its supposed dangers. But Tesla remained undeterred, confident that the science behind his system would prevail. The pivotal moment in this war came in 1893 when Tesla's AC system was chosen to power the world's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, a monumental event that would introduce millions of people to the wonders of electricity. With the world watching, Tesla's AC generators lit up the entire fair, proving once and for all that alternating current was the future of power distribution. The victory was Tesla's. In 1896, the first hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls, using Tesla's AC system, began transmitting electricity to Buffalo, New York, lighting up homes and factories for miles around. It was a triumph not just for Tesla, but for the entire world. The dawn of the electric age had arrived, and it was Tesla's vision that made it possible. But while Tesla's genius had won the war of currents, his personal life was far from victorious. The partnership with Westinghouse, though fruitful, had its challenges. Financial pressures mounted, and Westinghouse was forced to renegotiate Tesla's royalties, which left Tesla with far less than he had anticipated. Yet, for Tesla, money had never been the driving force, it was the thrill of invention, the promise of a future shaped by his ideas. But while Tesla's genius had won the war of currents, his personal years the 20th century dawned, Tesla's mind continued to race with ideas, some of which seemed even more radical than alternating current. He dreamt of wireless energy transmission, a world where power could be sent through the air, eliminating the need for wires altogether. He envisioned inventions that could reshape the world once again, but as time passed, Tesla found himself increasingly isolated. His experiments became more ambitious and more mysterious. In his Wardenclyffe Tower project, Tesla aimed to send free electricity through the atmosphere, potentially connecting the entire globe. But without proper funding and with growing skepticism from investors, the project collapsed. Tesla's once bright star was fading, even as the world thrived on the energy he had helped create. In his later years, Tesla's work became shrouded in secrecy and speculation. He spoke of incredible new inventions, death rays, wireless energy grids, and machines that could alter the fabric of reality itself. Some thought him mad, others saw him as a prophet. But Tesla, always the dreamer, remained focused on the horizon, convinced that the greatest breakthroughs were yet to come. And then, just as his life seemed to be winding down, Tesla began work on something that no one could have anticipated. An invention so radical, so advanced, that it had the potential to change the world once again. But what was it? What did Nikola Tesla see in those final days that made him believe he was on the cusp of something even greater than alternating current? The answer lies in the final invention he never completed, the one that would remain Tesla's greatest mystery.